Ta-da! Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mental Health Matters, 9 p.m. Eastern on Saturday night. Just so you know what you missed if you're watching the replay, what time to be where next time. So, anyway, hi, for those of you brand new, my name is Brooke Cheney, and I am the owner instructor here at A Great Start Shooting School. And why are we here? Well, go ahead. Those of you in the chat, you've been here before. You know what it is. Why are we here? Because 2 out of every 3 gun deaths you hear about are actually suicides. So, if we are here to save lives, to make life better, to make people stay alive for a longer time, we must talk about our mental health. Now, DJ, I know you're out there because I see you commenting. Now, in case I didn't send you the link, which is why I'm guessing you're not in here with me, I did just resend you the link in Gmail to your email address. So there is that. So apologies if I didn't send it. And true, it's 2 weeks ago that we originally set this up. So, all right. Anyway, what are we here to talk about tonight? Well, let's talk about our senses, right? 5 senses, right? So we can see things for those of you who are watching right now. You can hear things. There's 2 for those of you who are just listening right now. We can feel things. In case you're touching or holding the screen you're watching on, I don't know. Smell things. Hopefully it smells lovely wherever you are. If not, you should get a camera. I'm like, get a candle. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Sorry. And the dog just barked. Woof. And the dog just tried to get in the house. So that's what I heard. All right. So what is our last one? Oh, we can taste things. Don't lick the screen. I highly suggest you do not lick the screen because that's the only way I can think of that, how you would taste this. So anyway, those are our basics, right? And then since we're talking about mental health matters, let's talk about that 6th sense. And no, I'm not talking about the movie where you can see ghosts. I'm talking how you can feel things like that emotional stuff, happiness, joy, sadness, all of those things. So anyway, sorry, I saw Woods is coming if my smell doesn't work so much. And I think that's hysterical due to the fact, look at that icon. It's a big honking dog nose, and dogs smell a lot. So maybe that's why there's a dog nose. Yes, the icy gun people. Wait, that's somebody else. Exactly. So we have our physical, whatever these are, senses, right? And how often do we pay attention to these things? So I don't know is the answer, because most of us don't know. In that, how often was the last time you thought about the fact you woke up and you can open your eyes and you can see stuff? And the reality of it is I don't think of it hardly ever. It's like I get up, I see things, I expect to see things, and that's kind of how it works. And so it's part of my normal. Now, we have a regular viewer who I haven't seen him saying anything, although sometimes he comes incognito, is Barbecue. And Barbecue is legally blind. He can still see, it's just different. So he has a different normal. So when we are looking with our little eyeballs, this is one of those color, like, I don't know what kind of conversation I want to say this is, but here's the deal. If I tell you this is orange right here, now here's the thing. This is the thing I think on because I think on these things from time to time. You and I will agree, mostly, that this is orange. Of course, depends on your monitor and that sort of thing. But if we were live and in person, then you would agree this is orange, most likely, or burnt orange or something like that. But here's the question I have, and the thing that I really don't know. You and I agree this is orange, but do you and I actually see the same color? And the reality of that is I don't know. And I don't know if there's any way to actually test that you and I see the same color. So that's one perception. For my artists out there, Yeah, like my daughter, for example. They get into the nuances of the color. That's why I'm like, orange is kind of orangey, but it could be a tangerine orange, or it could be a warm orange, or it could be a cool orange, and all of those things. So your perception is based on what you know. Now, gentlemen in the room, I just want you to know, statistically, women see more colors than you do. Doesn't mean everybody, but it's warm here, so I'm just going to interject with Saria fans thing. I'm eating a frozen fudge pop. That's yummy. Is it like an actual fudgicle? Because, I haven't had a fudgicle in a while, but they are yummy. So, anywho, you see stuff. What you see depends on your perception. One of my favorite things, Nadia and I went to DC quite a few years ago. And oddly, I had the ability to take a picture of her at the base of the tall, skinny thing in DC at the end of when you're standing at the White House, you can look over the plaza or whatever the heck it's called. And at the other end, there's the tall, spiky thing. Lincoln Memorial. See, this is not. Yeah, we are talking existential orange at this point, kind of, sort of. And not that the orange is the new black, or black is the new orange, orange is the new black. That was what it was, but that was long ago and far away. Anywho, yeah, y'all can see how today's Mental Health Matters is going to go. So, perception, what we see is what we look at and what we expect to see. In my classes, I talk about this thing called a visual scotoma. And the way it is explained, and the way Tony Robbins first explained it to me, was you're in the kitchen. You're looking for the salt. You ask the person who spends less or more time in the kitchen where the salt is. And that person says to you, it's in the first cabinet, second shelf. And you're standing in front of the first cabinet, second shelf, and you do not see the salt. And the person is first cabinet, second shelf, it's there, and you do not see the salt. Well, second person comes in, grabs the salt in front of you, and says, here it is. That is a visual scotoma. This is when our eyeballs can see stuff, but our brain are not recognizing the fact that the stuff is there. This has been very helpful as of late, because with my mom and her dementia, she has a lot of visual scotomas where stuff is all around her, but she's not perceiving it. So my dog is now chasing bunnies outside and or eating bears or chasing deer. Usually it's the deer. I don't know if y'all can hear him barking or not. Probably not, but I can. So there's our vision. We get what we expect. And from time to time, we don't see what's right in front of our face. Just like when we're feeling our feels sometimes. Oh, yes, there is also a clockwork orange, but that is not the orange we're talking about, because I'm pretty sure the clockwork orange was about being in a psychiatric ward, but I'm not entirely sure. Although, to Wood's thing of man blindness, yeah, women have it too. Y'all know that we have it as well. It just shows up differently sometimes. So, yeah, and the bunnies and deer probably had it coming, and he's still barking at them. At some point, oh, we can hear him? Okay, yeah. That's good. So anyway, yes, he will protect me. So I have that going for me. All right, so see things. Sometimes we see what's right in front of our face. Sometimes we don't. Just like when we're feeling things, sometimes we understand the thing that we're feeling, and other times we do not. And y'all are just going to have to hold for a moment so I can get the dog. So I'll be right back. Hawkeye, get in here. Hawkeye, let's go. Good boy. Let's go. No eating toads either. No eating the toads. Good boy. Such a good protector. Okay. There we go. It's a twisted movie with the R scene. I believe it is. And I believe we're still talking clockwork orange. And that's what I get for choosing orange for the color that you see. All right. Oh, sorry. Since we had a little mini intermission, so I had to go get the dog. Taryn, I had lemons in my water this morning. So if y'all don't understand about lemons, go check out Taryn's Facebook site. And I've been meaning to call you. So there's that. Okay, see things. Let's see, it's 10 minutes in. DJ's not here to say hi to everybody. And we've gotten through one of the sentences. And where is G23? Because at this point in time, we might go a full hour, but we're really not. So, eyeballs, pay attention to what you see. Understand sometimes we don't see all of the things that we think we see. And there's things we don't perceive that all of those things. Because, like, if you want to get into the sight thing, it goes kind of nuts because you got your color blindness, you got your blind blindness, you've got all sorts of things. And I just had a student last week, and he'd been practicing at the range, and he came here, and we were shooting targets, and he wasn't doing as well on the targets as he did when he was practicing on his own. And I said, all right, buddy, show me your targets. Let's do one of your targets versus one of my targets. Now, my targets are white with a pink center. His targets were black with a red center. You know, those shoot and see targets. And as soon as we swapped out the targets for the ones he was used to shooting, he did better. And so this is where there is so much going on with what we perceive. And it's one of those things where when we start paying attention to all of this stuff, like y'all know, the more movement there is, the more you pay attention, right? It's the survival technique. It's like, ooh, if something is over here and it's moving, I should pay attention to it because it could kill me. Because that's how it used to be. And for those of you who don't have children, or maybe you have kids and you've never seen the movie, if you go watch The Croods, it is all about kind of survival in the beginning versus enjoyment. So, eyeballs. 1 down, 4 to go. Ready? Let's go with touch. All right. This is where I need y'all to do some things, right? So if you're watching on a phone, put it down in a minute. So go ahead and put your hands together. And yes, prayer hands is actually what I call it in class, but this is one, that's not what we're do. Now, rub your hands together. And I don't know how good my microphone is, but you may or may not hear the sound of my hands rubbing together. However, as we rub our hands together, what do? We create warmth, right? And if you stop and you pull your hands apart, the warmth kind of starts to go away already, right? Put it back together. You can move your hands together and warm them up. Now, this is something we naturally do to warm stuff up. But this is just a simple feeling thing. And here's, okay, ready? Here's another thing. Back to just being aware of stuff around you, right? So up and down just creates that warmth. Now, if we try to do circles, you'll notice there's not the same warmth that is occurring. And by doing circles, it's different. And then, what is the sound of 2 hands rubbing? Clapping. Can't remember. So yes, slapping, and that noise is different than this noise. And again, like I said, I don't know what y'all can hear or not, but when we're talking about our physical touch, most of us think of our hands. So that's why that was the easiest place to start. Most of us hopefully had good moms or parents or grandparents or caregivers of some type that at some point gave you a hug. Now, if you did not, or if you're in the need for a hug and I cannot give you a hug from here, ready? What is this? Right hand, left shoulder. Left hand, right shoulder. Give yourself a little squeeze. And you can pick up your shoulders and squeeze yourself. And you can just sort of squeeze your shoulders. And then if we're in 3rd grade, we do this and pretend that we're making out with somebody. But we're not in 3rd grade, so we're not going to do that. But here's the thing. Babies know how to self-soothe. And sometimes you'll see people with their hands on their shoulders and they'll be rubbing. And this is that self-soothing thing. And sometimes we need to do that. We need to remember for ourselves that as awesome as people are in the world, there are times when you need that hug. And sometimes it's okay if you have to give that hug to yourself. Um, and then like just a little squeezing on the shoulders and maybe down here on the biceps a little bit in the triceps, depending on how large your arms are. Because I know the size of my body changes all the time. So there's our feeling. And why are we going through all of the five senses? Because DJ thought this up. DJ had notes. And we talked about it a little bit, but it's just like our mental health is all of the things. It is what we see, what we hear, what we taste, what we feel, what we smell. Smell is actually one of our biggest emotional links because, oh, not trying to get crazy nerdy on everybody, but the short version is the sniffer is pretty well attached to the brain and all of the stuff that goes on here. So when you sniff, not as much as, hold on, where is it? I gotta find one. Where is he? All right, so Woods, the nose thing. I don't know if y'all know. Dog noses, crazy sensitive, can determine bazillions of different smells and sniffs and all of that stuff. So your nose is also crazy sensitive because here's the thing. See, this is back to the, if y'all want to say stuff in the comments, this is the time to do that. Grandma, did your grandma have a smell? Now, I am not saying all grandmas smell like roses and pinkness like my grandma. Some grandmas just smell old. Or I have friends from when I was growing up, and they would bake bread. And walking into that kitchen was just like, it was like a hug for my nose and my brain. So for those who can't smell well, I'm sorry, because that sucks. Because when you can't smell well, you actually can't taste well. And when you can't taste well, it does sort of take things apart. Now, one of the things we talked about with barbecue was that he's, whatever it's called, legally blind. But when you lose once, like maybe you can't smell as well anymore, but you can still taste. But then you figure out, well, maybe texture becomes more important. So, and I don't know why every time I think about taste, I'm like, yeah, just don't lick the screen. Just don't lick the screen. So, there you have it. Did we get through all of them? I don't know. Talk about seeing things, how important it is to pay attention to what you see and understand you're not always going to see everything. Number 2, touching and feeling things. Go ahead and pay attention to what you feel and how you can generate happiness for yourself. It can even be that little hug for yourself. So seeing things, touching things, smelling stuff. Smelling stuff, I have a very lovely, balsam and cedar candle. And it's that whole Christmassy thing, right? If y'all don't have like a Yankee Candle in your area, in New England, we have a whole big store and it's like walking through Christmas year round. And the smell, gentlemen, some of y'all have amazing aftershave. Ladies, some of us have the best perfumes or body lotions or whatever. There's a reason there's 5 million different ones because what you like may not be the same as what I like. So with that, seeing things, feeling things, smelling things, tasting things, like I said, don't lick the screen. That's all I got for you. But that happy feeling of when you have your favorite ice cream or fudgicle, or you have that fresh baked bread. And this is where I think food gets big into some of us because it's all of the things, because you look at a nice baked turkey it's crispy and brown, and the smell fills up the house on Thanksgiving or whenever you're having that meal. And then you get to the taste. So it's like layering these things on. So when it comes to our mental health, remembering that things are always being layered on and paying attention to them all. All right, seeing things, tasting things, smelling things, feeling things, hearing things. Oh yeah, that thing that I'm doing right now that you can hear me. Tara, today is Saturday, so tomorrow, Chasing Ghost will be playing her guitar and possibly singing. I'm not sure what's on deck for tomorrow. But just before of this show, generally, I try to listen to music. I listen to stuff that makes me happy, gives me energy. I know when I am sad or overwhelmed or any of those things, I must listen to music. And my daughter asked me, she's like, Mom, why do you have so many playlists? I'm like, because the answer is it depends. What am I in the mood for? Would I like some Beethoven, Bach, and Rachmaninoff? Because I'm in that kind of mood. Am I going to listen to some Madame Butterfly and listen to the opera? Or am I going to listen to some Metallica or perhaps some Phil Collins? And the answer is always it depends. The Police, the Def Leppard, doesn't matter. Big hair band, little hair band, I don't know. So hearing things. I mean, I think one of my favorite things, like when you're really trying to get grounded and trying to pay attention to something, would be drumming. And I don't mean with sticks. I mean like the hand drumming. There's so many different names for the different types of hand drums. But where you're just kind of listening to bum, 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 bum. And why is hearing that so relaxing? Because when you're itty bitty in your mother's womb, first thing you hear is a heartbeat, right? That is going to be the first thing you hear, which is, I think, why pretty much every single tribe has some form of drum, because this is the first thing that we hear as children before we even come out. So hearing gives you connection because it's the first thing that you heard. All right, so it is 23 minutes into here. And since I am without my DJ, I'm going to attempt to see and say hi to everybody as best as I can. And for those of you who are new, this is Krabby Turtle. I must say hi because in the beginning, when we started doing this, it would pop up and say pink hand waving. And because I was new to YouTube, I had no idea what a pink hand waving looked like. So now we actually have my favorite pink hand waving, because Krabby Turtle is here. Jamie may or may not be back, because in the beginning, he said he had to go with showers. So back to that smell portion of tonight. He's smelling lovely because he's all nice and clean. Then we have our Chris Bulldog. And we have everyone's favorite Gizzard, Gizzard Gary. And of course we have DJ, but I've been talking about DJ, so y'all know that DJ is here. Then there is Saria Fan. And I think Saria Fan was the one with the thing. And of course we have the Dog Nose, aka Woods. Who else? Continuing on and on. I know I saw, Viejo. How are you, Walter? Hope everything is lovely and shiny over there on the West Coast. Ooh, 10 days from now, I'll be closer to you. I'll be in Arizona, not quite California, but I shall be closer. And then there's Chasing Ghost, for those of you who didn't know. Well, you were at a funeral today, so maybe you're not doing your live stream tomorrow. But if you are, go ahead and drop your link in here. I think you can. If not, I know DJ can. So Chasing Ghosts plays guitar, sings to us, used to cook for us from time to time, because there's always still Tara's Kitchen somewhere. If I am ever hungry, that's where I should go. And then we have New York Outcast. Rob, where are you? Are you that little red dot that's on your thing? Because we should have visited you after we visited barbecue, apparently, because that's on that way. And then there's Miss Taryn Gomez. If you want to know more about Taryn Gomez, you can look in my lives because we interviewed her and threw her up for a live. So I'm pretty sure that worked. Mr. Ballinger is here enjoying life because that's what Mike does. And Mike also saves puppies because that's one of the things he loves to do is walk around in the woods and find dogs. And he trained his adorable dog, which I think I only have her puppy picture, so that's way outdated. So all of that. Edward Smith is here testing things. I don't know what he's testing, but hopefully it all works out. Woods, DJ, New York Outcast. Jamie is back and smelling fine. So nose is super important. Jamie, you're adorable. It's okay. We don't need to wash that adorable grandpa face off of you. Let's see what moves you can cross. What? Yes. And here's the thing about when you're listening, because that was the last thing we talked on, is in my teens, if I'm like 14, 15, you ask me what I like. I say, well, I like rock and roll, classical, opera. I don't like metal, rap, what was the other one? Country music. Then I got to 18 and I lived in Wyoming. And girlfriend, if you want to listen to music and you live in Wyoming, you best learn how to like country music. So now I like country music. And that's at 18. At 19, I met my husband and he likes Metallica. So if you want to spend time with your significant other, it's good to like some of the same music they do. And you don't have to love it, but you can at least gain an appreciation for it. All right. Anyone else? Oh, Lily. Yeah. So guess what? Yours truly. I got lots of advice. That's kind of what I do. Social anxiety is just that. It's anxiety. And the short version, Lily, of anxiety is simply this. It is the fear of what could happen versus being right here, right now, in the present. And as someone who always wanted to get invited to parties, when I finally would go to a party or be invited to a party, my whole thing was, nobody's going to talk to me. Why am I going? No one's going to want to talk to me. I shouldn't go. And then when I go and I have a great time, I wonder why I was freaked out about going in the first place. And then the next party comes along. And I'm like, I don't want to go. No one's going to talk to me. I don't want to go. There's no one who wants to talk to me. And I would go and I have a great time. So here's our challenge. Anxiety is very simple, and it's the fear of what could happen versus what actually is happening. Now, breaking it down and making it simple doesn't help that little emotion in your brain. It's getting through it versus trying to overcome it because it may always be there. And then I just started like inviting people to my house and not going elsewhere. So I got to invite people and create social anxiety in them instead. So that would be my thing as far as the short version of how to like look at social anxiety is that pretty much everybody has it at some level or another. Nobody likes all of us. And DJ and I were actually just having this conversation yesterday. It's like, there are people that think I'm an amazing person, and there are people who think that I'm a horrible person. And it doesn't even mean that the people who think that I'm horrible know me very well. And it doesn't mean the people who think I'm great know me very well. And I love Mark Twain. I'm pretty sure it's Mark Twain. And I'm horrible with quotes, so I could have that wrong. But other people's opinion of me are none of my business. So if you happen to love me, that is awesome. If you happen to hate me, that too is your choice. I don't have to worry about it. I have to love me first. So the social anxiety stuff is definitely a challenge, but it helps to understand pretty much everybody has some level of it. And if you saw me at a party and you heard me do this first and then saw me at a party, you think there's no way, because I will talk to anyone. But the funny thing about that is sometimes that is the anxiety coming out in the other way, So, Woods, I'm sorry that your wife would leave you for any member of Metallica. Fiona, who is not here right now, she would also leave her husband for Metallica, but I think it's specifically Lars. I'm not sure, but I think on her Apple Watch, it's whoever the lead singer is, I guess. I'm not even sure. Yes, and DJ dropped the Taryn in episode, so by all means, go check it out. I believe you are about countries. Classic country. Yeah, see, in classic country, I'm not as awesome. Modern country, but it's mostly like pop. All right, let's see. What did she say? Work on aerobic exercise, playing Painkiller. Painkiller's the name of a song, not okay. Funeral, dropped a rare guitar off a guitar store for repair. Listening to you and playing Painkiller. There we go. That makes sense. All right. And yes, to Wood's point, people are very peoply. And I think, see, here's the thing. We kind of think that people are the way that we are. And the reality of that is not true. There are people that are very outgoing, and they're legit outgoing, and they're full of themselves and very happy and content with who they are. And then there's other people who are very outgoing, who are the people who are just trying to compensate for the fact that they're not very happy with who they are. And here's the thing. It only matters which one you are. So if you're truly very outgoing and have a great time with everybody and you're very happy with who you are, keep doing that. If you're crazy outgoing and it's because you're overcompensating for what you think you are not, try to love yourself more. Just like all the hermity people who don't want to go out and play with other people, it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with that either. So just check in with yourself. Make sure you're not keeping yourself away from others just for the fact of taking them away. And trying not to overthink. It's like telling a girl to calm down. When has that ever happened in the history of women? Or believing them when they say they're fine. Fine stands for freaked out, insecure, neurotic, and emotional, in case anyone's wondering. Not actually, Twain. Yeah, probably not. But I try. No, sweetheart, you wouldn't watch if you hated me, you would not watch my live stream every week. Of course not. I was just telling DJ, and DJ kind of had the same responses. For those who don't like me, obviously they're not here. But for those of you who love me and are so sweet and support me and all of that sort of stuff, no one likes everybody 100%. That's just how that goes. All right. I have successfully said hello to everyone. We are at our 30 minutes, which is usually when, we are sort of ending the thing. Super excited. You are welcome, Lily. I hope it helps even a little bit. It's why we do this. Today is the 27th. Next weekend, happy 4th of July, everyone. As far as I know, I will be here live. I don't think we're doing fireworks anywhere or anything, but that could always change because there's a whole week between now and then. I hadn't thought about that. So anyway, maybe we'll be here live. Maybe we won't. Maybe it'll be Memorex. I have no idea. But what I do have for you, July 11th, I have a interview with Clint Macro, and it is at least an hour, possibly an hour and a half. I actually need to talk with Hillbilly about that, because my thought is, yes, the big 250. And as DJ always says, reload the show when it ends, leave a comment. It only takes a moment and it helps the algorithm a lot. But with how they take down gun-based channels, I don't know that I want a lot of attention. So on the 11th, long interview, me, Clint Macro. It's a two-parter because we started it in, I don't know when. We started at the beginning of the month when I was at the rally before I went. Oh no, we started at the end of last month and then we finished it this month. So I think it's 20 minutes and then 45 minutes and then a little break in between. but it's a ton of stuff. So G23 should be happy if y'all can reach out to G23 because I don't know how to, although I could email him, let him know. I think this might be the longest one coming out on July 11th. But as for the 4th of July, I'll figure something out. If y'all are like me and don't really have anything else to do on a Saturday night, I will probably be here. However, if we are going to a party or something that I don't know about yet, because sometimes that happens because it's the 4th of July. So yeah, there we have it. Thank you all for being here tonight. Your 5 senses, start paying attention. See how they help you or how they don't help you, and fix it. And when I say fix it, just being aware of what's going on, which things you can help yourself with. Like that simplicity of, I know it seems silly, but I double dog dare y'all. Go ahead, put your hands on your shoulders and give yourself a little squeeze. It's okay. I don't know. I think it's good. No licking the screen. I don't know why that cracks me up so much today, but it just kind of does. So find your favorite little thing. And oh, Taryn, this is just for you. This morning, I don't know if you saw my YouTube post, but I cut up lemons and put them in my water. And that was my little bit of self-care for myself, to drink my water. Do the little things. So there's a taste one for you. So yes, if you didn't see my YouTube post, that is there. And that's it. Have a lovely, spectacular Saturday night. Top of this hour, Hillbilly Up should be starting around there. And yeah, that's what DJ said pretty much. And yes, the lemons are lovely. And I was going to tell you, I'm like, I'm going to just squeeze them and make lemon ice cubes. And that was going to be the thing. All right. And in my best attempt at my DJ, all y'all be safe, have fun, and take care of your crew. I'm not even going to try to say The Rock the way he does. But good night, have fun, see you next weekend, probably